What's up guys, this is Dolce and today we're going to check out some Crysis 3 gameplay, but I'm not going to talk about Crysis 3. I'm going to talk about Battlefield 4 and their upcoming single player campaign because that's the main topic of this video. The single player campaign, and is it really that important, you know? I think it is, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you why. But yeah, enjoy the gameplay. I know it would have been better if I posted some Battlefield 3 gameplay. But I don't know. It's really hard to find good servers. They only seem to be running either Domovan Peak or Metro 64. So yeah, enjoy this gameplay. It's really good. I think I go 40-3, something like that. Maybe 40-5. I don't know. But it's a really good gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, Battlefield 4. I can't wait to play this game. I've seen all the footage there is to see on the game, and I have to say I'm seriously freaking impressed. It's gonna be a monster of a game. And first thing I've noticed is that the game doesn't really look that different from Battlefield 3. Sure, it's beautiful, and obviously they pushed the graphics, and they finally got rid of that awful blue tint, which I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that. But it's still got that Battlefield 3 feel to it, and I think that's a good thing because I was afraid that they were gonna like change the design and the artwork completely, like they did with Bad Company 2. Because if you look at Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, it's like a whole different game. Like you wouldn't even say it's the same franchise, right? It looks totally different, and I like that they stuck with the same Battlefield 3 look because I think it looks really good. And it's got a very real look, right? But it's also got that Hollywood cinematic look, and they have really found the perfect balance between looking real and kind of realistic. And I talk about realism in my previous video if you want to check that out. And it looks convincing enough, and it's really looking like a AAA Hollywood production. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the artwork and the design. But let's talk a little bit more about the single player. Now they seem to have realized that they did a very bad job with Battlefield 3 when it came out, when it came to the campaign. And I'm sure a lot of you guys don't really care about the campaign and think they should just focus more on multiplayer. And I tend to think like that sometimes as well, and pretty much all games these days, right? Or at least the shooter games seem to be focused mainly around the multiplayer. And the single player is kind of left out. Nobody really enjoys the campaigns anymore like they used to. And just pretty much everyone these days also kind of expects the single player in a shooter to be boring and linear and just not that entertaining overall. Take the Call of Duty games, for example. You buy the game pretty much just for the multiplayer these days, and a lot of people don't even bother playing the campaign anymore because they already know what to expect from the previous Call of Duties. It's a linear shooter with little to no story in it, just a geopolitical background story to pretty much give you a reason for the conflict and to shoot people in the face. But you don't really relate to the characters in the game. You pretty much forget the names of the characters halfway through the game, or like, I don't know, like 1 hour into the game. And what you're left with is this stupid generic shooter that doesn't really have anything to offer except for shooting at stuff and having a semi-entertaining cutscene here and there. For example, a game that implemented a great story into the single-player campaign was The Last Brothers in Arms. Now that was a strong campaign. It wasn't about the war. Well, it was, but it was more focused around the characters in the game, the actual soldiers in the war and what they went through. And I cared about those soldiers. I wanted to know more about the story in that game, and that's the kind of single player I want to see in future shooters. And it seems that it is the route Battlefield 4 is taking here. In a recent interview, one of the people at DICE explained that they realize how it's not all about making the campaign look pretty and cinematic and not making it all about the pretty and new shiny graphics, but instead make it more around the actual single player experience, make it more interactive, actually putting down a good story and make you want to play the single player and relate to the characters in game. Again, just really pulling you into the story. He also said they are bringing elements from the multiplayer into single player, like giving the player an actual choice when he needs to approach an objective, and really letting you, the player, be in control of the battlefield. Like in the first Bad Company, you had these huge open environments, and you had so many choices when it came to how do I complete my mission, and you could flank around the enemy and play it stealthy, or you could call in a mortar strike and clear the area like freaking Rambo. And I like those choices. I like the feeling of having all these choices and tools at my disposal, and after a while you will look beyond just the pretty graphics and you will be sucked into the whole experience, and that is what makes a good single player campaign. So yeah, I think this time we can really look forward to a strong single player in Battlefield 4, because from what I've read in the interview, they're kind of moving the focus more towards gameplay and good game mechanics instead of just adding a few polygons here and there. And that's also a good thing for multiplayer. They're not trying to make this game into a generic shooter everyone appreciates like COD, but instead they're looking at the core fan base and are trying to make the best Battlefield out there for the community, and they're really looking to push the ultimate Battlefield experience. But does this mean they will slack on the multiplayer? I really don't think that's a possibility. Again, if they try to listen to the community, and it really does look like they're doing that, they will put out the best Battlefield we are ever gonna see. But I would also like to see some more variety in their game modes as well, and not do what they did now with Battlefield 3 and, you know, just rolling out some basic game modes with all the DLC spread over pretty much a year. And what I would also like to see is more close quarter city maps. And I'm not talking about, you know, Zeba Tower and all the you know, the maps from the close quarters DLC, but more like Saint Crossing or Grand Bazaar, you know, because I really like those maps, and they also work really well with some of the vehicles. And of course, you know, include some larger maps like Operation Firestorm or Caspian Border. But I wouldn't really like to see too much maps like Bandar Desert, because even on PC with 64 players on them, the maps are just too big, and it can get really boring sometimes on those maps. Although I have to admit, they can be quite fun when you're playing with friends on them. You know, when you're playing Conquest, it can be a lot of fun. But, you know, again, it can be kind of boring, especially on Rush. But I really wouldn't bother too much worrying about Battlefield taking the COD route, because I know a lot of players out there do, and some people even think Battlefield 3 resembles too much to COD already, which I really don't understand. But if you think about it, would they really risk pissing off their fan base and potentially losing them just to attract the Call of Duty crowd, or, you know, whatever you want to call the diehard COD fans or COD players? You know, would they really do that? I don't think so. That would be the dumbest move for them. But I like both games, alright? I'm not hating on COD or anything like that. I like both games, but I do prefer Battlefield, because I prefer the team play and just the overall experience, you know? It's my game. It's actually my second favorite game to COD 4. But Battlefield can get a little stressful from time to time, so when I feel like just having some fun and just clear my head, I like to launch Black Ops 2 and just have some fun, because it really can be a fun game. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a nice comment down below. And let me know what you guys think. Do you think Battlefield 4 should put more work into their single player, and are you looking forward to it, or do you just don't care? Do you just want to play the multiplayer? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.